Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Show and Tell. My name is Aisha Bash. I'm a cloud advocate at Microsoft and my colleague Lee is joining me for this session as well. Hi Lee, how are you doing?
Hi, Aisha. How are you? I'm very well. I'm really well. So I'm really looking forward today. So I'm Lee Stott. I'm a principal cloud advocate at Microsoft, so a colleague of Aisha's. And today we've got a group of student ambassadors. So we have a team across the globe who are called Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors. And we've been working with them to build some amazing projects and samples for M365 development, Power Platform, and modern apps. So today we're going to have this team talk us through their project that they've been working on. So I'm really excited. I hope you're excited, Aisha.
Yes, I'm super excited too. So let's have super talented student ambassadors over and let them introduce themselves as well. Hi everyone, welcome. How are you doing? How is everybody
Hello.
feeling?
Doing good.
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So
Excited.
would you like to start with introducing yourselves and then we will jump into your project?
Sure. So basically, we are a group of student ambassadors who had the opportunity to work with the awesome cloud advocates on a project using low-code tools and basically the whole spectrum of the Power Platform. So my name is Gino Messmer. I'm a Gold Microsoft Learn student ambassador from Germany. I finished university just recently, and I love working with C#, with .NET, so basically the whole Microsoft tool stack. And I've had lots of fun working with this project and with these amazing people. Over to you, Arpita.
Hi everyone, I'm Arpita. I'm a third year computer science engineering student from India, and I have enjoyed my time here. It has been great collaborating with everyone. I regularly mentor hackathons or judge hackathons, and this has been really good because I have been provided mentorship by everyone here, and that was fun. Thank you. Prnika, you can go next.
Hey everyone, I'm Pranika and I'm also a Gold Student Ambassador from India region and I'm a final year student from Jain University, Bangalore. You can see from my slide that I love to connect with different people and learn different things and grow in a better way. And I try my best that whatever I'm learning, I contribute the same to other members as well. So that's what I keep on doing. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share our thoughts over here.
Hello everyone. So I am Rohit Yadav and I am a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I am a PG student at SRM Institute of Science and Technology. And the best way I can put up about myself is I am a Microsoft freak and I love to advocate with communities and help people to achieve more. So this is how we came across this beautiful team and we have worked on this amazing project.
So I love the word Rohit used, Microsoft freak. And with all these amazing student ambassadors, all of them are super talented and they already know a lot about Microsoft. I really wonder what you come up with. So can you explain what sort of solution you're solving with this project? What is your project about?
Sure. So I think me and Pranika can take over from here. So our project here was to use low-code tools to build something great. So we have used low-code tools that Microsoft has already been offering from years, which is Microsoft Power Platform. So we have used a multitude of technologies over here, like Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents to build something cool, which you will see later on in the slides over here. And our aim was to build a proof of concept and also to publish this as a template solution that other users and interested folks can use in their projects. Over to you,
Moving
Pranika.
on, moving on to the third one that we have kept it very precise. The problem state, like taking the problem statement, we have kept it very precise for the users. Whenever they are in using this tool, they will be able to manage it and they will be able to know about what is the flow, and there will be no complications. I guess that is what we have kept first in our mind. And by using our custom code we have tried to make the solution coming up in the society itself. That's what we have tried our best by using our own custom code. um, we kept it very simple and smooth. Like users should not feel complicated. They should be using it very smoothly in the same way.
So that's really interesting. So you sort of set the scene of what the task was. So what's the actual project? What are you actually building for us?
So before we go into that, we have some, as with every project, some technical considerations. And the first and most important thing is that it should be cost effective. So it should be, as with every project, it should be cheap. And also, while Lee has mentored us through this project, he also specified that being expensive, making it expensive, everybody can make the project expensive, but in our case, we should make it cost effective. And with low code tools, it's actually fairly possible because we can also use some serverless technologies, and we can also include many different parts, and it's, in comparison to some hosting options, it's relatively cheap. And speaking of code, we can also integrate with tools already used. So in this case, we could also use Azure for a specific computing task, and we can also use the Power Platform as a low-code solution. And in overall, it should be maintainable, it should be extendable, so everybody who isn't even a code expert can just go and maintain the project or even extend it with new business use cases. And also, it should be easily deployable. So as my other peers just said, it's a template solution, so everybody can go ahead and deploy it. But also for us, it should be fairly easy to deploy whenever we make some changes or in case we extend it. And in this case, especially for students and societies who use Discord or maybe other alternatives like Microsoft Teams or other platforms. And the most exciting thing is that low-code tools, they actually have a flat learning curve, because you can go from prototype to production in a matter of maybe hours or maybe in a few days, but it doesn't take long to get over there. And in relation to that, we also have some resources that we can use, that we used in this project. So in this case, we use Discord. Then we use Power Virtual Agent, basically a solution that allows you to design your custom bot using low-code tools. Then Power Automate, again, it's a low-code tool for designing flows. And then, as my peers said, we do some intersection with Azure Functions where we can implement custom business logic. And this business logic is going to interact with our data store. In this case, it's a Microsoft SQL database. And these are all the resources. These are all the technical considerations that we had in mind.
Okay, this is awesome. And when it comes to any project, actually, the points you mentioned in the previous slides are quite important. We always think about the cost, and then we take a look at is it maintainable or not? And the third thing we always take a look is if it is easy to deploy, if it is easy to reuse for someone else. So these are the important points for all of the projects. So I'm glad that you mentioned all those. Okay, so what is this project about in general? I see you're using really fancy tools, technologies from Microsoft side, and I feel like something really exciting coming. Can you introduce us? What is the project about?
Yes, so the ultimate challenge which we had for this project was using Power Platform to build a Discord bot. And yes, a Discord bot. Now, I believe most of us would have already built a Discord bot using Python or some other language where we just go like 10 codes, get the access token, and it's done. But then we were introduced to this challenge, like use Power Platform. And I remember initially we went like, okay, how do we do that? We spent nights thinking about how do we do that. And then we used the approach which I actually prefer the most. Let's make flowcharts about it. So what we did was we initially decided to clarify the requirements about everything, hosting, pricing, deployment, tech stack, everything we needed to use. So we started discussing about what the goal was, what we needed, and what the participants or anyone using this bot would require. Soon after that, we decided to allow the roles. And when I say allow the roles, I mean how the data would travel, whether it would directly go to the database, whether it would have something in between to process. But then the injection started, and what happened was we made it in such a way that the participant or the user would enter the email address, and it would directly verify that with the database. And if it matches, well, it's verified. You're allowed to use the Discord again. And that's how we wanted to make the role allocation easier. Then we moved on to the data model where it would hold the processing for the database, for retrieval, and for everything. But then coming like database, what database do we use? Of course, we use Azure SQL. So we used Azure Functions as a connector between the Power Platform and Azure SQL for us, and that actually helped us solve the problem. How? Well, Power Automate connected Azure Functions connected Azure SQL. So there the verification happens. You enter the data, it verifies with the database, and done.
So that's really cool. So, going back to the scenario was about how to build a bot to a Discord channel, but then most importantly, be able to authenticate a user was a valid user of the Discord channel, and then be able to add that user to specific channels within that Discord server. So take this as a scenario where it could be a student society, a club, an organization, where you want to have an automated workflow pattern, which says, these groups of users get access to these channels, but you want that process to be user driven. So when a user authenticates, it says, hi, Aisha, you're part of engineering. You need to go into the engineering channel. Or, hi, Lee, you're part of human resources. You need to go into the human resources channel. And again, there's a huge demand for services like this using different channels like Teams, Discord, WeChat, WhatsApp, etc., where we want to group users based on their preferences. So that was a whole focus of what the team was tasked to build and produce a template to support that solution.
So basically, instead of asking users to search around what teams users should join when they first come to Teams or Discord, you basically enable this automated flow so that people will authenticate and then they will be already included in the related channels. Is that the scenario?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great, because especially if you're new to organization or if you're new to a student club, you basically don't know exactly which teams you should join. If we have an automated process to basically become a part of some sort of a team, I think that would make it super easier for everyone. So they will just be a part of that group when they first authenticate in the platform of their choice. This is great. Okay, so can we see how you build the solution overall? I mean, but I know that now what sort of technologies you use. I think you heavily use low-code tools. But do you have any other details you want to share with us? Or should we just jump into the demo?
So we also have the database design. Maybe Arpita, would you like to follow up on that?
Yeah.
In detail?
So this was a one-to-one relationship because, like Lee said, it makes allotting rules easier. So what we did was once the user registers, the data gets stored and then it gets verified on Discord, and boom, they have their roles. This helps us in balancing records. We can go ahead.
And in this case, just as a quick side note, so we have, so this database is going to be used by the Azure function, and we have two tables, and the participants table on the right, it can be easily ingested by maybe some administrators or moderators, so they can just feed it with email addresses, and the registrations table is going to be accessed by the Azure function. And behind the scenes, we also use a popular framework, which is called Entity Framework. It's also developed and even used inside Microsoft. And this is how it's basically an ORM mapper, and this is how we intersect with the database and with our business logic. And with that being said, we, as Arpita has also mentioned before, we have this user flow. Maybe Rohit, would you like to take it over?
Sure. So our project follows a relatively simple user flow over here. So this is from the endpoint of of a user when he or she will log into Discord or Teams, what he or she will see over here. So as the user joins the online community over here, the bot will come into play, and this bot is being powered by Power Virtual Agents here. So the bot will put up a question asking to get key information from the user. So in our case, the bot will collect the email address from the user over here, and once this is collected, the whole business logic gets fired in the background, where the whole process will take place, and it will be verified if the user is actually registered for the competition or not. If the user is registered, the relative role will be assigned on Discord, or if it is on Teams, the user will be simply joined to a team, and a greeting message will be sent to the user with more information on how to proceed in the community. In case they are not registered, they will be redirected to the registration page, where they should register for the competition in order to gain access. So this is a relatively simple user flow that will take place.
Simpler the better, right? Always.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the technical part, we are all agreed that you're using the simple flow and you are leveraging low-code tools as well as Azure functions, shall we jump into the demo and see how this works? It's always nice to take a look at the scenario as well as the technologies you're consuming, but once we have the demo, we can visualize, oh, okay, this is how it works. This always works for me, actually, when I see something visually.
Sure. So basically, as you can see right now, this is Power Virtual Agent. It's as I said before, it's a solution for designing custom bots using like this design and like this low-code tools, and it uses many AI technologies also used by Azure and Microsoft behind the scenes. And in this case, we can simply specify a trigger. In this case, we just say, "Hey, please verify me." We can just check it out right here, verify. And this is going to figure out that I triggered this flow, this verification flow. And in this chat window, we see that the bot has posted these messages. And using PVA, we can include actions, and we can also include custom actions. And in this case, the action is that we want to send a message to the user and ask a question, so we can take input from the user. And in our case, we want to verify the user, and in order to verify them, we ask them for the name. So I will just take this name. I will send it, and now it will ask us for an email address. So let's go ahead. So I already registered for my society, and I will input my email address. And now it's going to actually verify the email address in the Azure function. So this has this flow, as you can see here, it's called Power Automate. And Power Automate is connected with our Azure function. So this is the flow. So Power Automate, it allows you to create many flows and many different flows with custom actions. In this case, we take the input, which is the email address that we ask. We ask the user for their email address and save it as the response. So this is the input. Then we basically have like a bridge, like a connector to our Azure function, and we hand over the email address to the Azure function, and the Azure function, it's then going to verify our email address using this custom business logic. As you can see here, it's fairly simple. We have a very simple service, and the service is going to verify our email address. So fairly straightforward. And this Azure function, it's and this is the endpoint for this function that I just showed on the right side. And once we have the successful response, we then return this value to the Power Virtual Agent, and the agent is going to have this condition. So we check if it was successful. In this case, it is successful. So we have so we now have access to the server. We can add additional flows, additional actions, additional Azure functions if we want to for further processing. And to show you that it works, I mean, we could yes, it answered my question. So we could maybe give another try and put an email inside that isn't part of our society. So in this case, I will take the same username. Then I will type this email address, which is obviously not registered to our server. And it says that we are not registered, and therefore we were not granted access to the server, whereas we, in this case, it was successful and we're inside. And this is basically the whole intersection between the whole spectrum. So we have, to recap, we have the Power Virtual Agent, which is the screen that you, the browser window that you see here. Then we have the Power Automate flow that connects the Power Virtual Agent to our Azure function. And then we have our Azure function, which has custom business logic and is connected with our database and verifies the email address. And once verified, the user will get access to our Discord server. So the Azure function has all the required business logic in this case. And as I said, this is the whole spectrum. And something else to keep in mind, it's not just Discord. We can also have many different connectors. So we can also use Teams, we can also use Zoom, we can also use WhatsApp even. So the bot service, it has different channels. In this case, we customize it for our use case, which is Discord in this case.
So I always, when you were describing during the demo, it always comes to my mind for the hackathon preparation or events we have at Microsoft, also outside of Microsoft. We always try to be a part of the watch parties, or if a community is driving something on the side of the event, we always try to find the right one and be a part of it. When it comes to joining these sort of third-party actions on the side of the event, I guess this solution can definitely help, because in the, let's say, event page, when we have a bot like this, or if we have a bot on Teams, once we are registered, bot can definitely direct us to the related channel, and we will at least know who are the people that are also interested in these sort of events or hackathons, and you will get a lot more chance to meet so many other people who are interested in this. And I see that you use the Imagine Cup scenario here. If anyone is interested in being a part of Imagine Cup, they can be a part of the related channels using this bot, but this can also be replicated to a lot of other scenarios too. So what do you think, Lee? I guess we have so many events going on at Microsoft, so this can be super useful for us too.
Yeah, definitely. So it's exactly like you said, because this is based on Power Virtual Agents, the bot can be embedded into pretty much any resource, whether you have an existing Teams channel, Discord channel, website, mobile app. That's the whole purpose of using the bot framework, and especially Power Apps, is it gives you that multi-platform support. And again, specifically on the screen that's being shared at the moment, this is available to all those different channels. So you can just simply swap out what we call a channel connector. So again, this is a framework which allows you to scale this and take it to different platforms. But again, think of all the activities that happen at universities, at organizations. Yes, Microsoft, our MVP community, our student ambassadors community, where we want people to take interest and then be part of those virtual communities. This is a great solution where we can actually just authenticate, yep, that user has this email, they're in the database. Now get them to populate their further details around what areas of interest they have, and they can go into the appropriate channels within those teams or communication tools. So yeah, it's an amazing solution.
I see a lot of places where we can extend this solution to. I always think about our Learn Together events we deliver with Enter 65 advocates, and we always have watch parties on the side, but people sometimes don't know, and I sometimes don't know when I join in an event, even though it's virtual or on-site, which watch party I should join, or if community is driving something, or sometimes I wonder if there is any sort of watch party in my own location. I guess this solution can be extended to maybe asking more questions on the way, so it will direct you to the related region team or on Teams, or maybe related, let's say, student group in your club and so on. I guess there's a lot of potential scenarios we can go through.
Yeah. And that's one of the massive opportunities of the Power Automate is, you can actually build that into your flow. So when you actually see the flow of how the bot is integrating with the user or interacting with the user, you could have a branch that says, oh, you're now registered, or we see that your interests are X, Y, and Z from your preference form. We have these channels available, or even add the user directly into those channels. And again, there's opportunities to add things like knowledge bots. So we could use things like Q&A Maker and add an FAQ. So if a user has a specific question, they can ask the bot a question about the event, and that can go to the knowledge base and present the user with suggestions and answers. So this is the whole joy of the modern workplace and modern app development, is we can start to bring all these different data aspects from Dataverse into our solution.
Yes, exactly. I guess this solution can be reused by many other developers. So question to our brilliant student ambassadors, is there anywhere that other developers can find more information about your solution? Maybe they want to reuse it. So is this project public?
Sure. So the project is public, and you can, so the samples, they are all available. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Power Platform, Azure Functions, and Azure, and so on, you can also check out Microsoft Learn, which is a really great platform for learning new things. Everything is also well documented. And we also have a blog, the Educated Developer blog, that you can also read. And if you would like to learn more about us, student ambassadors, you can also check out the official websites. And if you're a student, maybe you could also consider joining us. And maybe you have also the opportunity to work on this project with these amazing cloud advocates at Microsoft.
Yes, awesome. And I know that we have many other projects like this going on. Lee, maybe you can just highlight some of the other scenarios. Not all of them are recorded in our channel, but you can find out more in the blog series, or there are some specific Learn modules for students too. Do you want to just walk us through what is available out there?
Yeah, so we've run various capstone projects across universities and our student ambassadors programs. And again, it's all around how we're trying to enable social good. So we have lots of projects around how you can use technology in your clubs, societies, and workshops. And again, a lot of the ambassadors are actually developing amazing content themselves. So we have ambassadors who are writing for Microsoft Learn and producing Microsoft Learn modules. And a lot of this content is being made available as workshops. So if you're interested in this technology, you can follow along, or you can actually take this as a content pack and provide it to your campus or your ambassadors or even your colleagues at work. So again, lots of different technologies, mostly focused around automation. So, those practical tasks that you want to do every day, how can you use Power Platform and M365 to automate those solutions?
Exactly. I guess this was a really inspiring solution, and it's always nice to catch up with our student ambassadors and their brilliant projects. So thanks everyone for being a part of this video. It was a big pleasure for me to just present along the way with you all. And I guess this is all from us today. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, and thank you. See you. Bye.